Greetings everybody, Alexander Mazzone here from Galactic Tarot, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Lucid Cupid. Today I'm going to be talking about symbolism in your dream time and what spirit, God, the original creator of your soul, whatever your vernacular may be, what the message is that is attempting to be received by the soul. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to be alerted when I go live, and of course, subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is episode 2. So, 20 years experience here in dream state interpretation. I've been doing this since some very wild dreams that was just, unarguably just synchronistic. After researching a book known as 10,000 Dreams Interpreted, I started to use this book to literally predict the future. This was something for me that was not, really evident that it was something odd. Because of the fact being brought up Roman Catholic, there was a lot of dream state interpretation in the Bible. So even though I was doing this miraculous thing of predicting my future, or Spirit was allowing me to predict my future, I didn't think this was an odd thing. I thought this was totally normal, and I just went on with life. I was basically doing this for about 6 or 7 years until I realized, hold on, wait a second, this is magic, and really started going through the awakening process. But I was basically awake and just didn't fit into my normal 20-year-old age demographic of the Italian male on the East Coast, going through it, but having the ability to look at these symbolic elements in the dream, to then look them up in this book to better know and prepare for what was about to happen. So, quick disclaimer about that book. I do not use that book any longer. Some of the interpretations in that book are incredibly negative. Like, one of them is completely ridiculous, and it's like something like, if you see a cat, you gotta kill the cat, or something. Very, very, very strange stuff is in the book. But if you look up some of these dreams that I'm gonna be sharing with you in this book, just swing by your local bookstore, they should have this book. You'll see that, the symbolism that I looked up is exactly what's in the book, telling me to do these things, telling me what to avoid, telling me what to prepare for. So, basically, moving forward, I want to share this one dream with you because this was really a struggle for me, plain and simple. I had this dream, and old school Italian ancestors and elders in my life, there's these sayings. I'm sure some of you have heard of them. Either the person being a rat, the person being a snitch, the whole snitches get stitches sort of situation here, not to be too negative. But you got to realize, I was in my early 20s at this point in my life, if not even younger, probably just 20 years old, around there, 21 the oldest. And this was really eye-opening for me to have this dream, look up the dream, and prepare me for what was going to take place. So there's a little disclaimer and backstory. But let me tell you about what took place in the dream. So I'm in a movie theater, and I'm looking up at the screen, and this big snake starts to come over my left shoulder, goes on my lap, and I literally start to pet the snake. And I'm not like somebody, especially at this point in my life, that was really into snakes. And I'm petting this freaking snake like it's a fluffy bunny. I was like, oh, look at it, look at it. And I wake up from the dream and I was like, what the heck was that? So I look it up in the book, and it basically talks about somebody's doing something negative, and they're blaming this negative thing on me. And if I'm observant, if I look around, if I research, I can actually catch them, basically. So, I'm prepared. I drive into work. I won't say where work is. I'm going to leave names out of this equation as well. Not trying to throw anybody under the bus that may be watching. So, I go into work. And there's some very, very specific time anomalies. Like Spirit was communicating with me. There was like literally like telling me this time of 3:30, 3:30, 3:30. I kept getting this time. So I go into work, and there's a DVR system, like with the cameras that record everything that goes on in the store. And I see the key dangling from the computer, the key that the manager of the store accidentally forgot in the machine. I was never taught how to use this machine. I was only an assistant manager at the time. But I would watch her when she used it. And I wasn't watching in case if I ever wanted to use it. This is literally just all miraculous stuff that took place. And I see the key, and I literally just go, okay, what day wasn't I here? You know, and mind you, by me turning the key, using the computer that I wasn't supposed to use, using this camera system that was, you know, I wasn't supposed to use at my, you know, level, management level, whatever you call it. I was putting myself on camera doing something that I shouldn't have been doing by the rules of said company. So I punch in this time, because Spirit was very much so, you have to do this. I punch in this time. I type in 3:15 on the day that I didn't work. I did not have to search. At that exact time, the two other managers are stealing on camera. And of all people to steal from, not stealing from the company that makes a lot of money, they're stealing from a customer. So I was floored by this. I was disappointed. You know, there was still this struggle, this internal struggle that went on for days, literally for days of, do I just say something to them? Do I not say anything at all? Do I let this slide? Because like I said, the whole, you know, snitches get stitches sort of thing. I wasn't comfortable with throwing these people under the bus. But Spirit told me I had to. And Spirit warned me that they were trying to basically say I was stealing or I was doing something wrong or trying to get me fired is what the message was by me watching the movie, petting the snake representing this, you know, venomous, you know, where's the bad guy or the bad interpretation, like usually in movies and TV shows, they use a snake, you know, this whole, whether it's reptilian or this thing or that thing. I don't have any of those symbologies anymore, by the way. I have no issues with the snake, but you have to think of where your symbolic nature is now, how you're interpreting what you're looking at now, and what these messages mean to you in this present moment. In that present moment, the snake seemed scary or naughty to me. So I call human resources. And this is very interesting because I'm talking to the person from human resources and she's like, this is very strange. And I go, why? And she says, she called here 2 days ago and said that you've been stealing in spots where she said that I must have known where the cameras could see, and I was doing stuff, and I was stealing in places where there were blind spots on the cameras, which I wasn't. There's nothing in this place that I wanted, trust me, even back then. And she's like, this is very odd because you're calling here and telling me that she's stealing, and she's telling me that you're stealing, but in blind spots. So, you know, it's kind of like that whole, like when somebody feels guilty about something, they blame the person who isn't doing it on doing this thing, you know, because their own guilt, because their own ego or whatever was taking place. Or maybe they just wanted to get rid of me to make room for more people that could steal from customers. So the human resources department sends me this whole envelope, this whole packet with keys to the machine, because obviously this person wasn't going to make that mistake of leaving those keys in the machine again, now were they? So this woman from HR sends me the keys, sends me DVDs to back up what I saw. I told her I could tell her I have the exact time that this all took place. And I end up copying these DVDs and sending this stuff into HR. My life at this place was a living hell at this point. For just a little bit more backstory, these people hated me. They were egging my car and just destroying personal property, and just very, very naughty things were taking place at this point. So I didn't even want to be here anymore anyways. But, the balance between snitches get stitches and don't drag my name through the dirt. Don't drag my name through the dirt is what wins out, okay? So I send in this packet. They basically tell me that I was lucky. I was about to be fired. And now I'm in this position where they want to promote me after how crazy everything was already, after how much these people didn't want me there. Because all of being the assistant manager and this other person being the store manager, all the employees were loyal to the store manager. So I could just imagine how difficult life would have been, her, going out in this manner and obviously verbalizing that to these people, and then me having to get these people to work for me. So I decided to just kind of, cut my losses and find another job just to finish that story. But this is something that if I did not have this dream, if I did not interpret this dream, if I was not prepared for this, instead of having this good resource on my resume, for a long time I worked there, I would have been fired, and I would have probably had difficulty getting another job, and this person who was lying, stealing, and attempting to hurt me when I was just a loving person would have won. Not that it was a contest, but this person would have been in a position to get me fired when I did absolutely nothing wrong. And it would have been one thing if I didn't see the whole thing. If I didn't see this young girl try on her stuff, leave her bag in the dressing room, and then pick apart this bag like friggin' vultures. And then she comes in there, she's like, no, you didn't leave anything here. And she's like, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did. I didn't go anywhere else. It's in that room. And then they're like, oh, no, nothing here. You don't know this person's situation. You don't know their financial situation. You don't know what that bag that was stolen from them meant to them. And like I said, this is something that I was very disappointed with and struggled with. Not to kind of, not that I'm just trying to make myself feel better for doing this thing that's still to this day. This whole, being a rat thing, this whole snitching thing that is instilled through these, mafioso movies and Italian movies and just life in general. Just like what you'd hear, what you'd see. I grew up seeing my friends get in fights if somebody was, tattletales or whatever the heck it was. Something that went on my entire life. So this is something I struggled with. But this was something that I had to do. And this is something that assisted me in my awakening journey. So I just want to share some of these stories from my past on how I just, got to this point of realizing, how is this possible? Because it didn't seem possible. And this is something that, to me, proved to me something else exists. Because, you have some people, and this is not, I'm not here to slam atheism as a whole, or, anybody's belief structure in general. But to me, it puts a pretty big hole in that belief structure. Where is there any way to explain how somebody can have a symbolic dream and it's predicting the future, what's going to take place, decisions that haven't even been made yet? If there isn't some higher power, or at least, let's not talk about God for a second. There's at least some level of magic or spirit involved that humanity does not understand. And it's being able to assist people in, just opening up to their belief structure and opening up to realizing that maybe the most knowledgeable person here on earth still potentially might know less than 1% of what there is to know. So part of this show, I want to get into interpreting your dreams. So that is where we are now, is moving on to your dreams and helping me help you to let you know about what these symbolic messages are in your dreams. So, here we go. I got them all in my old phone. All right, so this one is from Sybil. Hi, Sybil. Thank you. All right. I won't say where Sybil is. I'll just skip over that part. I had a dream I was walking and driving all over blank, blank, blank. I was hanging out with my mom. In the dream, I was writing down directions and times. I was typing on my phone and reading a map. The dream was in color. There was another person with my mom, and I don't know who it was. We were walking around looking at art outside, but there wasn't actually any art. There was grass over and through rusted metal stuff. The sidewalk we were walking on was narrow, uneven, grass grown through, peaks and valleys sidewalk. When I left my mom to walk back to my car to leave to drive to my home, I was walking through a neighborhood. The sidewalk was covered in chipmunks, written in caps. The chipmunks were trying to snuggle and sleep, and they were digging holes. They were eating about a city block of sidewalk covered in chipmunks that I carefully stepped over. I didn't step on any or accidentally kick any. Awesome. Thank you, Sybil. So, what do chipmunks do? So let's do a little bit of practice. This part's for everybody, not just Sybil. What do chipmunks do? They hoard things. They go and collect things. And, they can be a little bit aggressive from time to time. If there's a bird eating some seed, the chipmunk might run out of nowhere and just football tackle him. So what do chipmunks represent? Chipmunks represent releasing the past or potentially needing to release the past. Okay? So, and I got some of these interpretations right off of Dream Moods. I'm a big fan of Dream Moods. I'm also a bigger fan of you not using any books, not using any websites, and learning your own interpretations. I want to just make that disclaimer right now. The way that spirit can communicate with you the easiest is if you have your dream state interpretations and you take everything quite literal. Everything you see in dream time, you look at as literal as possible. What are the message? What are the sayings as well? Like, beating around the bush, or like those sayings that people say. Skeletons in the closet, a blast from the past. Because these things will be represented in a lot of these books and websites and things have these interpretations. What's best for you is for you to have your own interpretations. But until you get to that point, you can use Dream Moods. I figured chipmunk meant to do with harvesting something, but I did want to just kind of fact check myself, so I checked Dream Moods. And it says about releasing from the past. So an art gallery says, past and hanging can have an impact on the present, rather. Because to see art hanging is like these pictures. To look at these pictures, it's something that you want to remember, but there was no art there, Sybil. Okay, so I wrote down in here, preserve or capture something in the present, but since there is no art, and rust also, and overgrown grass, you need to delve deeper to find out what these chipmunks, what are these missing paintings that need to be released? Because we have this creature that kind of gets all these nuts, seeds, berries, whatever a chipmunk eats, and then goes and buries in the ground, hides in the ground for later to make it through this hibernation. You've got grass overgrowing and rust, all these symbolic elements showing that so much time has gone by, okay? And the fact that the art is missing and you're at this art walk and it's an uneven walk, your spirit team, God, the original creator of your soul, whatever your terminology is, higher selves, other dimensional versions, they're trying to communicate with you. They're trying to communicate with you and let you know that you have some stuff that you need to release. I think the fact that the chipmunks were like cute and snuggly and cuddly and all that stuff, it might be something about a relationship. It might be somebody that needs to be forgiven. Maybe you got to forgive yourself. Maybe you got to forgive somebody else. But definitely, this is a very symbolic dream. And like I was saying, if you go and look up on the website yourself, the art gallery and the chipmunk both have very similar interpretations. So to look at those interpretations and to look at, my breakdown for what this would mean if I had this dream, and then also just, you kind of sitting and, as I wrote down, delving deeper and really going into a meditative state to get what the real message is, to find these nuts and berries that you have buried in the ground, okay? It's quite possible you are all those chipmunks. So this next one is from Anonymous, okay? Not Anonymous the group, just an anonymous person that did not give me their name. So, hi Alexander, this is a fun one. I had a dream I was running around a large yard. I don't know why I'm reading this with an English accent. I was running around a large yard, getting items out of the yard because a tornado was coming. I was praying for safety for myself and my neighbors as the tornado was coming right toward me. I turned to run from it and heard inside my mind, "Turn and face the tornado and let it take you." So I did. I faced the tornado and kept my eyes open a bit, even as dirt was slapping me in the face, and I was scooped up and up into the tornado. From inside, I was supported in a place and watching items come into the tornado, and they weren't hitting me. I was praying inside the tornado, saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you," over and over. Then I was dropped, unharmed, into a field of rolling green hills. The sun was shining and warm. There was a cool breeze, and I was jumping up and down and smiling at the sky. I was so amped up, I rode a tornado and wasn't harmed. So, tornadoes represent problems that are coming our way, or whoever the tornado is heading towards. I remember having a dream a long time ago that there was a tornado heading towards this man, and I was on a cobblestone street, and I went up to him because he was just laying there like he was frozen down on his side, like laying on his left side on this cobblestone street, and the tornado was coming towards him. And the same thing that whoever you are just said, I was worried about the dirt and all the items inside the tornado cutting the person, hurting the person, because they were laying there like they couldn't move. And I went over to this gentleman and I put my hands over his face to protect his face. And then to protect my face, I buried my face in between his shoulder blades in the dream time. And this was like, a lot of crazy stuff happened in the dream. I won't get into the whole interpretation. I already interpreted my dream for this episode, but here's just like a second one. So I wake up and, I'm watching the Today Show. I was training personal training clients at the time. This is years ago. Early morning, the Today Show is on. And they're talking about this tragic event where the guy's going hiking with his daughter, and they got separated, and he actually had some sort of rock slide, and he died with the rock slide. And the person that they're showing on the news is pretty much identical to the person that I was trying to protect in the dream state. So this was something that was happening with myself at this point as well, was tragic events that were taking place on the earth a lot of times, and I'm going to get into that in the next episode. Amazing story I have for you guys. Tragic events that were taking place on the earth, the realization that we're all one, and me trying to protect this person, me trying to help this person cross over, or whatever was taking place, that I was there to protect him, let him know that his daughter was safe, let him know it was going to all be okay, and, kind of shield him in this manner. But basically, I looked at this as a problem. The tornado for this person actually represented a rock slide and them actually not surviving the day. But this is what I was worried about that was in the wind, was all the debris, the dust, the rocks, the things hitting him in the face. So it was, very symbolic. So for your dream, to have this tornado take you, nothing hurt you, and takes you to a place, it was representing things that were going to be happening in your life, but everything was going to turn out okay. And, this is something that was pretty open and shut, pretty easy interpretation for me, but I did check, once again, Dream Moods. These people should sponsor me for sending all you people to their awesome website. And it said exactly what I already interpreted. If you go up in a tornado, if you are inside of a tornado, or you go up in a tornado and nothing bad happens, it means that everything is going to turn out okay. So whatever was taking place, whatever was going and getting sucked up into the tornado, the spirit was showing that you're going to be supported, you're going to be happy, and you're going to be excited. I'm sure, whoever you are, when you woke up from that dream, you probably felt wonderful. You probably felt awesome. The way when I first started to remember flying dreams where I would go lucid, take control of the dream, even if I had something else I wanted to do that day, going and flying around in my dream state, the way that I would feel for the next few days was like an immovable object and an unstoppable force all in one. And this is what I hold space for all of you guys. It's being able to get to this epic, epic place where you just feel awesome. Like this person's obviously saying, like, I even got all these crazy emojis and they're just, look, I was so amped up. I rode in a tornado, I wasn't harmed. Like this changed this person's day. So this is why it's important to be able to remember our dreams. And just to, I'm sure I mentioned some of this stuff in the first episode, so I'm going to bring it up again. But one of the most important factors in remembering your dream time is your belief structure. One of the most important aspects in anything you do in life, manifestation, turning on your third eye, making money, finding your lover, is your belief structure, mind you. But if the person tells themselves, oh, I used to remember my dreams when I was a kid, but now blah, 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 like I don't even want to say that out loud. But you need to basically start to tell yourself, every day, I'm getting better and better at remembering my dream time. Something along the lines of a spell, because the words are spells, a spell that you can cast that at least prepares your reality and prepares your belief structure for being able to remember your dreams. If you're going to tell yourself that you don't remember your dreams, then you're never going to be able to. Other things that you can put into practice with your manifestation capabilities. Step one, make sure the shades are drawn. A nice dark room helps me, at least. I'm not saying you can't remember your dreams if it's bright, but for me, I remember much more, much easier if the room is dark. So blackout shades, that's a good thing to get if you don't have them already. Telling yourself and manifesting that you're going to keep your eyes closed upon awakening. And this, I believe, is in that 10,000 Dreams Interpreted book I was talking about earlier. It might not be, mind you. I haven't cracked that book open in probably 15 years, 13 years at least. But anyways, upon awakening, keeping your eyes closed. If you open your eyes, just say, okay, tomorrow I will remember to keep my eyes closed. I'm getting better and better at remembering to keep my eyes closed upon awakening. This is why sometimes you have this crazy dream and you wake up and you remember it so vividly. You remember everything about it. And then other days, the same individual might be like, oh, I had a dream, but I'm struggling to remember it. There might have been something with the alarm, jumping up, having a very violent sounding alarm, or an alarm that has to be, boom, you open your eyes to turn it off. Maybe a more gentle alarm, or an alarm that has a slow build. I actually have a house song, and the house song actually starts off and you can just hear the woman's high heels because it was from a video. It was actually like a long time ago off of YouTube or something. I can't remember where it came from. But the woman's walking and you hear, and then the music very slowly starts. So having something calm, even like, yeah, I know, you're thinking house music, that's gonna wake you up with but it was slow build. And this is what I'm telling you I use now, because I can prepare and hear the shoes and then think, is somebody walking in the room? And like it wakes me up in a more gentle manner. So I use that as well. So just a little tidbit for you, like maybe some Asian sounding music or some sort of song that starts off really quietly, or some Rufus Du Sol slow build, something awesome that you can wake up and know where your snooze button is and just hit it, whether it's on your phone or on your alarm clock, and hit that snooze button, or just let the alarm go off because it's a more gentle song or whatever you're using to wake you up, and having the opportunity to remember your dreams. What else? Oh, other things you can try. You can do, because we do not try. Other things that you can do that will assist you in remembering your dreams and having more wild dream states, going lucid, especially this next one. Purposely setting another alarm. This helps to use a cell phone to do this. Setting another alarm in the middle of the night almost. Because with this way, basically what the body's gonna do is produce melatonin. So you're gonna produce double melatonin. If you can set an alarm for, say you go to bed at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. You set an alarm for 3 in the morning, sometime around there. And you wake up, get up for a few minutes, get up for about 30 minutes, meditate, 45 minutes the most. And obviously I would suggest doing this on days where you don't have to be up early for work. But spend about 30 minutes, 45 the most. Be up, whatever, drink some water, meditate. Do not fall back asleep on your couch. Go back to bed and go back to sleep. Your body's gonna reproduce melatonin like you never slept in the first place. You're gonna have double this, basically this drug in your body that your body produces naturally. And this is gonna make it easier to get to deeper states. This is gonna make it much easier to go lucid. And when I say lucid, what I'm telling you is, for anybody that's new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Anybody that's new to the channel, meaning you're dreaming and you know that you're dreaming. And this leads me to this next dream. And what is the benefit there? Just to really just instead of just brushing over that point, to dream and know that you're dreaming. You can then fly, you can ask questions, you can get to places, you can do things. This is an epic state for you to train your body to remember to know how to do, because this is something that you probably did when you were a kid. If you really think back, you can probably remember a time where you were having flying dreams, or you were having these epic, awesome dreams. And yeah, it's just, I suggest it to anybody and everybody. I think it's very important in our own mental well-being. All right, so I'm just pulling up this last one here. Okay. All right, Sister Winnie. What up, Winnie? Okay, quick question. I often lucid dream. When attempting to talk to a specific person who died 2 years ago, I get these dream guards who show up and tell me this isn't allowed. They don't tell me why it isn't allowed. Just get frustrated with me. I'm yelling for my ex-boyfriend, and I'm saying, I don't want to say his name just in case. I'm lucid here. Where are you? And this dream guard guy says, that's it. I'm sending you back. He taps me on the forehead, and then I fully awake in my bed. Okay, so are these dream guards real? Are these actual astral beings not letting me connect with this particular person who died? Or is it all me? Sending lots of love, Winnie. Sending love back, Winnie. Thank you so much. All right. He's gonna go on another tangent. From my lucid dream practice that has been going on since 2007, been mastering lucidity, or at least on the path to mastering it. Anytime I've gone lucid, I act like I'm trying to jailbreak everybody else in the dream out. Like, my subconscious mind doesn't realize that my sister and my grandfather and like sometimes people that aren't even alive anymore that are in my dream at this point aren't them. They're representations of the subconscious mind. Representations of my spirit, of God. Who honestly really knows? Nobody. I can tell you that. It's theories. The dream state is a very magical place that should be, I think, a lot more scientific research should go into, personally. But any time that I've ever gone lucid and I know I'm dreaming, I try to jailbreak everybody. I'm like, hey guys, we're dreaming. Rally on me. Let's get out of here. We can fly. And I don't know why I sound like Batman from College Humor in my dream time, but anyways, moving on. I try to jailbreak everybody, and every time I try to jailbreak people, they tell me how I'm not dreaming. My own spirit, my own mind, whatever it is, attempts to tell me that I'm not dreaming. And they're like, no, this is real. This is real. You're here. This isn't a dream. This isn't a dream. And like I actually remember like arguing with people and just being like, this is ridiculous. Like we're in the past. Like it's 1943 or whatever. Like one time I was in a whole World War situation, but it was very lovey-dovey. It was all like everything had ended. And I'm like arguing with my sister, like, what are you talking about? But there's been people that I've met in being lucid, and then I actually meet these people later in life, and just very miraculous things that have taken place. But to answer your question, Winnie, this is your own subconscious mind for sure. I tuned in before recording, tuned in, asked other dimensional versions, tuned into my spirit team, just to make sure, but this is what I thought it was. And yeah, this is definitely your own subconscious mind not allowing you to talk to this person, I would assume, because they already reincarnated, so there's nobody to talk to. But you know, you're in this place where you could kind of force some things that we don't normally have access to, and you're trying to force something that maybe doesn't exist, or maybe he's in some other place. If I had to guess, I would say he's already reincarnated. So you're trying to talk to somebody who's learning how to speak right now. It's probably a baby somewhere in the world. So just to wrap on the point of this video, looking at the symbolism in your dream quite literally. If you see a monkey, somebody's monkeying around, monkey business. If you see a dinosaur, it's a blast from the past. If you see a skeleton, there's skeletons in the closet. If you see, like bathroom dreams represent something needing to be released. Bathroom dreams with number 1 represent somebody being angry, AKA pissed off. We will not talk about number 2. No, we'll talk about number 2. Number 2, something's really, really backed up. Something really, really needs to be released. But you can use your own interpretation of what, like the examples I just gave you. And this is the way that I would prefer that you guys analyze your own dreams. Because that way you can make sure that you analyze them in a positive nature. Spider webs for me, and a lot of this was in that book that I first mentioned. Walking into a spider web, not being prepared, and then just walking into a spider web represents, and I know I already talked about this in the first episode, represents money coming to you, unexpected money. So, just looking at these things and not looking at them like they're scary. Looking at spiders like they represent abundance. Looking at snakes like they represent spirituality. Even though the whole pre-story of this episode is me telling you that this snake represents something else for me. But throughout the past 8 to 10 years, me looking at things in a more positive manner is helping me to adjust and address and align my reality with my belief structure to have a positive life and a positive belief structure and have more good things come to me. Spirit, universe, God, original creator of my soul, you're doing a great job. I want this or better. Having the ability to cast a spell, the words, spelling, cursive, grimoire, it's all right there for you. You're constantly casting a spell with what you're saying. That's why I caught myself earlier when I said try. And it's like, it brings me right back to my, being a Star Wars nerd. Yoda saying, do or do not. There is no try. Very wise words. And this is literally talking about manifestation in general. We can manifest our reality. You can manifest remembering your dreams. You can manifest, and I'm going to be going over this in future episodes, going lucid, learning how to go lucid, preparing yourself to go lucid. And the reason why I suggest this to anybody and everybody, even if you're scared of having flying dreams right now, because some people are, just being able to at least ask questions or see things, or to be paying enough attention that if something's chasing you or you're having a bad dream, to prevent those, dissolve those, and face these fears, dissolve these fears, and get what the true message is, so you'll stop running from potentially what is yourself, your own mind, your own subconscious mind. So this is not something that can be done overnight. I hate to even cast that spell, but it's the God's honest truth. This is a practice. This is a practice that some of you, by following this trail of breadcrumbs that I followed, can get to loaves and loaves of bread and can get to just control over your reality. Lucidity while awake, lucidity to control your reality and look at these symbolic messages all day, not only in dream time, but I do suggest starting with your dream time. I do suggest just casting the spell, casting the proper spell, speaking the words that move the direction only that you want to move. Removing the double negatives, removing the negatives as a whole, and speaking things into being in a way that is in alignment with your belief structure. Whether that's you manifesting a job, money, a lover, or just the ability to remember how to dream. You do remember how to dream. You dreamt when you were a little kid. You remembered dreams at some point, and they were probably at very influential times in life. My goal, my hope that I'll be holding space for all of you and co-creating with you all is that we all can remember more and more and have the ability to prepare, be warned, and avoid things, and call in things that we've been waiting for. I'm going to show you this. Last but not least, the dream bracelet, celestite, angelite, green angelite, amethyst, polished, matte, meaning unpolished, and purple fluorite. This thing's going to activate the pineal gland, pituitary gland, protect you if you're leaving your body with flying dreams, astral travel, lucidity, pretty much everything, while removing negative interpretations and removing these things that people might consider nightmares. Very powerful bracelet. The original one that I made of this was probably the second or third bracelet that I ever made. Crystal Current didn't even exist yet. So check out crystalcurrent.com for the dream bracelet. I also have my 5-pack up for the holiday. Awesome deals. Mom and dad don't want socks or a wallet or a tie or whatever, or slippers. Get them something they're gonna wear every day that's gonna change their lives. And get yourself a few pieces. Ultra cheap right now. Sessions are at galactictarot.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment. There will be a link for the email for me to send you your dreams, for a chance to get on the list, to have me decipher your dreams right here on the air, on Galactic Tarot, on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for all the love, all the support. We made it to 1,500 subscribers. Thank you all, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. I love you all so much. I'll see you very soon. Thank you.